Ever wonder how Makey Makey was created? We're celebrating our bananiversary by interviewing Jay Silver and Eric Rosenbaum to learn more about them and the process of invention.
Well,
Shenanigans. There's parts we can remember, um, and there's contributing factors that are specific, like how can Drawdio be computational? That's not like answering your collaborative question, but that was
Sure.
a question, an open question we had, and Makey Makey ended up being the answer to how Drawdio can be computational.
we didn't talk about Drawdio, so we should briefly say what it is and
Sure,
how it
that's
plays in.
right. Yeah. So Drawdio is either a way that you can draw audio with a musical pencil, or
Drawdio.
or it's a circuit that you can hook up to any two things, and depending on how those two things move around, you create different resistive loops that are higher or lower, and then the speaker makes a pitch that's either higher or lower. And it allows you to jack into a pencil graphite that runs down the middle of a pencil like a hidden wire with a thumbtack, and draw musical instruments on paper and play them with your finger. Or you can do the same thing with a paintbrush or a kitchen sink or a number of other objects. And we really wanted that to be, we knew that music wasn't the most powerful output for resistive touch input. And we knew that computation was probably the most powerful output, but it wasn't clear how just varying a resistor or having a one-dimensional item that went higher or lower, like say a number between 0 and 100, for example, it wasn't clear how that could create a really multifaceted, interesting computational tool. I mean, we tried hooking that up, right? But it just didn't seem explosive. And I was kind of anti switches, like on off. I'm like, digital, it's like so constraining. I
Are
was like,
you
kind
are
of,
you allergic to digital, Jay?
I,
The value of and magic of analog is something that I've sort of come to appreciate through Jay.
but Eric was like, no, we could do switches. And at one point, Eric grabbed a Teensy. This is very specific, and he wired it up and programmed it. A Teensy is like an Arduino, but just made by a different company. And it happened to have HID output, which is what keyboards and mice use. They just talk HID to your computer, and it's human interface device protocol. It's just like great protocol because on computers is like, I'm always ready to talk to a human through like tapping or through moving your hand or mice or keyboards. And so we're like, well, if it's always waiting to hear that, why don't we use that protocol to talk to it?
You could make a little circuit board that pretends it's a keyboard and pretends it's a mouse. And when we realized that that feature was available on this little microcontroller we could buy, um, which they were about to do it for Arduino but hadn't released it yet,
That's right.
then we saw a path to prototyping a different form of this idea we had been exploring for a while.